Literally had to pay them a lot of fucking money for no reason. And I'm like, it just pisses me off.
Promise to the people is on July 20th, Mike will be put to sleep and he will feel my power, and I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time.
After getting a direct punch to the face from Mike Tyson, Jake Paul is in terrible shape. Yes, people, with just one blow, he will be rendered unconscious. At this point, you may be asking yourself, wasn't the fight scheduled for July 20th? Was his lesson learned too soon? Allow me to spill the tea now. I'll bury you next to your daughter, Tyson. Jake couldn't contain his outburst during a press appearance in Dallas. Yes, Jake believed he could leave and enjoy a great meal with his family when he went there. Completely hilarious. As soon as Jake chose to tamper with Mike Tyson, we all knew his miserable situation was predetermined and written in gold. However, Jake's confidence and dignity are suddenly laying on the floor after just one punch. But let's first discuss what caused Tyson to disobey the orders and silence Jake for so long, before discussing how serious Jake's situation is at the moment. Boxing fans will never forget the intense news conference held at Madison Square Garden on May 20th, 2024. It was meant to advertise the highly anticipated July 20th, 2024 bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Of course, though, things got out of control. It was clear from the beginning that this would not be your typical trash-talking session. Ever the provocateur, Jake Paul chose to take it a step farther. The comments from Jake were meant to pierce deeply, and the tension was palpable. He began by making this audacious pledge.
Promise to the people is on July 20th, Mike will be put to sleep and he will feel my power, and I will go down as the man who put Tyson to sleep for the last time.
People, it's not simply trash talk. It resembled a mouse threatening to kill a lion. Jake didn't stop there, even though the place was buzzing. He made extremely hurtful and intimate comments about Tyson's family and his late trainer, Cus D'Amato, going straight after Tyson's heart. Jake's statement that Cus D'Amato's legacy is overrated was the tipping point. Not even he could defend his own. And Mike, look at where you've come to. Did he not intend to give you invincibility? The room fell silent, and Tyson's angry expression contorted. The words hurt more than just that. They tore at long, closed wounds. This supercharged the atmosphere. Jake kept prodding the beast while making fun of Tyson's dead child. This was an outrageous insult, and the change was evident to all. Everything was electrifying, and everyone sensed that a major event was about to occur. Because even your own blood couldn't survive your shadow, Mike, he added. It wasn't just some random taunt. That makes you what kind of father? Then it took place. Tyson responded with lightning speed. He had obvious pain and anger in his eyes. The reporters and viewers in the crowded room held their breath. You're probably asking how hard Tyson punched Jake, since he can't see with one eye and can only speak with his twisted jaw. Although the circumstance was self-explanatory, allow me to give you a detailed explanation. With a shout, Tyson leaped over the stage. With all the anguish and anger he could manage, his fist turned into a blur and smashed into Jake's face. The audience let out a collective gasp as soon as Tyson's knuckles touched Jake's face, sending shockwaves throughout the space. Although security arrived quickly, it was too late to halt the initial beating. Tyson was struggling to get at Jake, and it took multiple guards to pull him away. Shouting, camera flashes, and everyone frantically trying to get everything back in order made for a really chaotic scenario. Once the debris had fallen, Jake Paul was lying on the ground, appearing to have been struck by a truck. His smug smile had vanished, leaving shock and hurt in its stead. A gash above his eye began to leak blood, and his face began to expand like a balloon. Witnesses claimed it was reminiscent of Tyson's vicious knockouts from the past. Even boxing analyst Max Kellerman was taken aback. Formerly a bright fighter, Jake now lies broken and bruised, a victim of his own deeds. The boxing community was buzzing following this incident, which I've never seen erupt this quickly during a news conference. As Tyson's former opponent and current buddy Evander Holyfield pointed out, Mike's fury is renowned, but this was a side of him I hoped was behind him. Jake. He was pushed too far by Paul, and the results are evident now. Jake's wounds were not to be taken lightly. He had a shattered cheekbone, a broken nose, and multiple facial fractures. The injury would require surgery, according to the doctors. A statement from his team stated that while Jake is healing, It will take some time for him to fully recover due to the severity of his injuries. We're thinking about what to do about the impending fight. The savagery of the attack had immediate consequences. The promoters and organizers began to question whether the fight on July 20th could still take place. But Tyson wasn't feeling sorry for himself. "I crossed the line," he said. "This is the actual situation." It left the boxing world in disarray. What started off as an exhilarating fight developed into a severe altercation that happened in real life. Jake Paul certainly succeeded in his attempt to provoke Tyson, but perhaps not in the manner he had hoped for. And the boxing world was shocked by the fallout. Once a promising fighter, Jake Paul now lay broken and bruised, the victim of his own careless words. The press conference that was supposed to intensify the conflict devolved into a war zone. Other than taking out his camera and displaying to the world just how much of a victim he is, what more could this Disney troublemaker do? Jake vented about his frustrations and displayed his fragility on social media.
Literally had to pay them a lot of money for no reason. And I'm like, it just pisses me off.
He lost control on a live stream, yelling at the camera with a mixture of despair and anger. Then, in an attempt to add even more drama, Jake began fabricating injuries. He claimed to be extremely hurt after the attack and uploaded videos of himself wearing bandages and a cast. These claims, however, were soon refuted. He said that during one film, when lifting a gym rock in one of his spars, "I displaced my shoulder. Yes, the doctor said that I cannot fight in this state, and it hurts, guy, because it sounds quite plausible to carry stones during a sparring match." Reactions were not uniform. Some fans sympathized with Jake, believing Tyson's uncontrollably angry outburst to be his only victim. One fan captured the sentiments of many who felt Jake got more than he deserved when they tweeted, "Jake was out of line, but no one deserves to be beaten like that." However, a sizable portion of the boxing community and supporters supported Tyson. They believed that Jake deserved every blow to his massive mouth. Sports expert Stephen A. Smith stated that Jake Paul quickly withdrew his statement after seeing how ridiculous it would be to take on a legend such as Tyson. The majority of people in this camp believed that Jake had overreached himself and had his just desserts. Jake's videos and public outbursts simply fueled the flames. People were further polarized by his emotional outbursts and the dubious nature of his injury claims. Videos of Jake sobbing and appearing obviously angry and irritated went viral. He was heard to remark, "I'm not sure how this got so out of control. I didn't want to wind up in the hospital. I just wanted to hype the fight." The entire situation also revealed the amount of strain Jake was under. Even with his arrogant public image, he was obviously losing his cool against a legend like Mike Tyson. The YouTuber turned boxer situation became even more problematic when his emotional breakdown revealed a side of himself that no one had ever seen before. Fans kept debating on social media and sports news as the days passed. While some believed Jake's tactics were careless and rude, others praised them, saying they were just part of hype the fight. This incident brought to light the thin line that separates excitement from animosity and the actual repercussions of crossing it in professional boxing. But honestly, did you think Tyson would remain silent while Jake Paul cooked up all those absurd charges? There's no way Tyson didn't take the time to confront Jake about his fictitious injury claims. Have you noticed the antics he performed on you with the bandages, hooks, and cast? They all, and then, to add even more intrigue, people began to see Jake Paul acting very normally when he was out and about. Only a few days following the alleged incident, Jake was spotted visiting a well-known Los Angeles bowling alley. According to witnesses, he was utilizing the hand that he alleged was hurt. Tyson brought up the apparent discrepancy, saying, "He was spotted at a bowling game a few days ago using the same hand he displayed on the screen to you all for bowling." The headlines cast doubt on the veracity of Jake's injuries as the media pounced on these differences like a dog on a bone. Tyson's unwavering pursuit to reveal Jake's alleged cowardice gained significant attention. This child went above and beyond, defending his actions and emphasizing that Jake's antics were not only rude but hazardous. Tyson added, "I was forced to do something." When Jake was spotted acting strangely at a friend's party and participating in activities that didn't seem plausible if he was actually hurt, Tyson's charges gathered more support. Tyson's claims gained credibility due to these sightings, which also began to shift popular perception. Naturally, the drama in the media was too much for them to handle. Every fresh piece of information was dissected by sports experts and pundits, sparking a flurry of conjecture and discussion. Big names in the boxing world expressed their opinions, primarily supporting Tyson. Lennox Lewis, a former heavyweight champion, questioned why Jake was still competing if he was truly hurt. It's just not adding up. But after hearing all these terrible comments, you won't believe what he did. His $300 million lawsuit against Mike Tyson has given their already fierce rivalry a major legal twist. Paul's lawsuit, which was filed on May 25, 2024 at the New York Supreme Court, charges Tyson of being aggressive and making threats to kill. Tyson went excessively far. He made a death threat against me. Paul referenced Tyson's furious response during the press conference in his lawsuit petition, stating that he cried. The news has been filled with details of the fierce legal battle fought by both sides. Tyson's acts, according to Paul's legal team, constituted criminal threats in addition to being physically injurious. They contend that Paul suffered serious emotional distress and physical harm as a result of the news conference, claims that have been substantiated by medical experts. Paul's claims are being criticized by Tyson's defense as being ludicrous and overblown. Everything about this is a farce. They believe that a lawsuit and a few scrapes will deter me. Tyson laughed in an ESPN interview on May 28, 2024. Paul's attorneys contend that his emotional turmoil is really a performance to elicit sympathy and that Paul's injuries are not nearly as serious as he claims. This lawsuit could have a significant effect on Tyson's legacy and the future of the fight. Tyson might be subject to harsh financial fines and legal restrictions if Paul's claims are confirmed, which might interfere with his ability to compete. The July 20th, 2024 fight is uncertain since both promoters and fans are unsure if it will actually take place. The public's response to the lawsuit has been erratic. Jake Paul's supporters contend that he has the right to pursue justice for what they believe to be an unjustified and violent attack. One fan tweeted, "No one should be above the law, not even Mike Tyson." This statement echoed the opinions of people who think Tyson should face consequences. Conversely, a lot of people in the boxing world and among Tyson's supporters believe that Paul is using the lawsuit as a ruse to get out of the fight and get some quick money. Jake is merely attempting to profit. In an interview with Sports Illustrated on May 30th, 2024, former heavyweight champion George Foreman stated that he understood what he was getting into. Many people who believe Paul's behaviors are deceptive and phony have this opinion. The boxing world is in suspense as the judicial proceedings continue. The verdict in the lawsuit will determine not just the fight's future, but also could have long-term effects on Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's careers and reputations. The outcome of this momentous chapter in boxing history is being eagerly watched by fans and commentators alike. Please, if you like the video and subscribe.